Today we are going to talk about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 17. This goal is about connectivity and partnership and specifically states strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development goals. So this goal talks about partnering. But who exactly is it talking about? Well, all of us really. The UN's goal is about creating coalitions that work across borders and sectors to accomplish goals. Global information plays a critical part of connectivity in the modern world, providing the technological and physical means of exchange of ideas, information, and goods. So, this goal revolves around the ideas that the United Nations itself embodies. Amelia Potvine, the UN's Director of Partnerships, says, "We are truly a partnerships based organization, not only because of the work we do on our behalf of our partners, but also because we help bring together partners from all sectors to advance sustainable development." This aligns with the UN vision of serving as the pivotal connecting link between the United Nations membership, the host country, and the United Nations systems at large. We aspire to contribute to effective multilateralism and to serve the purposes and principles enshrined in the UN Charter. We can see why this goal was included in the list. The UN is tackling global problems that require global teams working on global solutions. So, where do we need to connect? Well, we need to connect in a number of places based on how we are leveraging technology and the goals we are pursuing. We'll explore in depth when we look at the data story, but one key place where we can provide connections is in academia. By sharing higher education resources with developing nations, we enable them to create better supply and value chains for their economies, helping with a number of sustainable development goals. So, why do we need these partnerships? A few reasons that we will cover in detail in the data story. First, it fuels investment. People need to understand places to be willing to invest in them. Next, it opens up trade. You need partners to trade with to ensure everyone meets their own needs and gets a fair price for their goods. Finally, it enables greater technological access through investment and trade. High-income nations have tech. When they invest in trade, it spreads the technology globally. So, let's take a look at the data story for Canada, the United States, as well as low, middle, and high-income nations. First, let's talk about net foreign investment outflows. This is where a person from one nation is investing their money in foreign nations. First, it is important to note that the largest global stock market is the U.S. market, so it is much more common for non-U.S. investors to invest in U.S. markets than the opposite. We can see, though, that both Canada and the U.S. have levels of outflow on par with other high-income nations. Canada, in particular, is strongly investing in foreign nations, nearly double that of the average high-income nation. Likely some of this is closely related to its physical and cultural proximity to the United States. Notice how little outflow there is from for low-income nations. This is likely due to a lack of access and economic strength required for investment. Now, let's look at the value of exported goods as a share of GDP. First, outlier here is the U.S. It's exporting far less goods than most high-income nations, and even less than low-income nations. Canada, on the other hand, is on level for exports with high-income nations, and even above average for this mark. This means Canadian-made goods are moving into international markets. On the other hand, the U.S. has become a marketplace for foreign goods. The last slide we have here is the share of the population using the internet. Again, Canada is our top performer, followed by the U.S., both of which are above the average for high-income nations and percentage of the population using the internet. The gap between high and middle income nations, and again between middle and low income, is pretty staggering. Less than 2/3 of people using the internet in middle income nations, and again less than 1/3 in low income nations, likely related to affordable access and infrastructure. This severely limits the exposure to new ideas and opportunities amongst the populations of these nation groups. So, when is connectivity increasing? Looking again at the data story for internet usage as our most changing graph over the years, we can see that information connectivity is trending upward. New technologies such as 5G and drones help spread internet connectivity wirelessly and through wired networks. This means we can hope to see these trends continue to rise as our world becomes increasingly connected through communication networks. These connections make it easier for nations to create partnerships in both a logistical and political sense. So, how are global information systems connecting us? First, 5G is spreading the internet across the globe, allowing for more people to enter into the global online community. Next, as internet access spreads, we are connecting more ideas. This means we have AI systems and big data we can feed information to, and people who can learn new systems online. Drones will allow trade to occur more easily and with less labor intensity. Even micro trading environments can exist where drones move goods around small regions connecting cottage industries. Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed the video.